Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is my second episode of my second YouTube series. This is called Through the Entrepreneurial Eye. So today, in today's episode, we have the gorgeous Rachel and Jess from the Consciousness Collective. So guys, I'm going to pass it over to you to just do an introduction about yourselves, and then we will talk a little bit about the Consciousness Collective as a whole. So Rach, should we start with you? Talk to us, tell us everything.
Amazing. Well, this is the second time I've been on your YouTube channel, so I'm really excited to be back. Thank you so much for having us, and as always, excited to chat to you, Nat, and your audience, your amazing audience. So my name's Rachel Smith. I did speak to you guys previously a few weeks ago. But today I'm part as half of the Consciousness Collective, and just to give you an introduction to my background, I'm also a manifestation and transformation coach. I also have a health and lifestyle business. I would describe myself as a radical self-love advocate, a life lover, and passionate for absolutely helping people to elevate exponentially in life. I'm here on this planet to connect people to their truth and to raise the consciousness of this planet as a whole. So everything I do, from my health and wellness to my coaching to the Consciousness Collective, all comes back to this main purpose that I have connected with. And I've had an interesting journey. You know, I spoke about this a bit on the last YouTube session that we did. I've had an interesting journey within my own personal growth, and, you know, would describe myself as having a colourful start to life. I've had my ups and downs. I feel like I was speaking to my dad a few weeks ago, and I said, I feel like I've literally lived about 5 lifetimes in the space of one. But I'm so grateful for it all, because what it's done is it's really given me the life experience, the passion and the drive to make the most out of this life. And I truly feel that I am, and I'm just at the start of that journey. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Amazing. Jess, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Nat. And this is my first time on your show, so thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here as well. A bit about my journey. So much like Rachel, life has been an absolute roller coaster. Started off in Australia, moved to Scotland when I was young, had a colourful, like Rachel, childhood, left home when I was 15 years old. I just always felt like I was trapped, like I was almost like a caged animal, and just things weren't quite right. And so at 15 years old, fiercely independent, went out into the world and survived. But when I was 18, decided to go back home, follow the traditional route, and I went into teaching, qualified as a secondary school teacher and specialised in that area. But what I very quickly discovered in education was that I can't make enough impact on my own, and I need to empower other people in the world to connect in the way that I do and elevate people to live their best lives, whether that's tapping into education, whether that's in their adult life and stepping into the future that they're designing for themselves. And so just like Rachel, you know, it's about connecting and elevating people. And so I continued to work in education, but I set up my own self-development company, and then met Rachel, and we entered the next chapter.
Amazing. Where did you guys meet? How did you meet?
So Rachel and I have quite a story to tell. So we have a friend in common, Matt, and he had met Rachel in Glasgow, I think, at a 10X event with Grant and Elena Cardone, and had spoke to Rachel about me. And likewise, he had spoke to me about Rachel, and this went on for a year or so. And then we ended up, just by chance, being at the same event in Birmingham last year. And that was a Gary Vee, Russell Brand and Grant and Elena Cardone event as well. And he introduced us, and just through that network, we connected, knew that we had found, you know, an aligned soul in each other, and knew that we would probably link up in the future. And so back in February, Rachel and I met in Dundee at literally a roadside cafe, had a chat, connected, shared ideas. It confirmed that we were on exactly the same path, and that together our mission would be a game changer for the world. And that was the story. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. And that's definitely happening. That's definitely happening right now. I can vouch for that. let's talk Consciousness Collective. How did we get here? What's going on? Tell me everything.
Yeah, so we obviously, myself and Jess had, as Jess said, we had an interesting story on how we connected, and it was funny because it was exactly 12 months after I'd first been introduced to Matt that we were connected, myself and Jess, and was at the 10x Inspired conferences. So from the word go, had a connection there, and we met in Starbucks in Dundee as I was traveling down from delivering at a retreat up in the Shetland Islands back in February, and we just again, you know, connected, realized there was definitely something here, and so we actually launched the community as an event. So we were only due to really launch properly in October with an event with a members club down in London, and so we'd started off with that, and it's kind of unfolded. And we were laughing about this the other day because I was literally in the bathroom at the start of the sort of global situation we've just been through, which was obviously when me and you spoke last night, on the YouTube channel. And I was in the bathroom, and me and Jess just had a call, and I was in the bathroom, and I just got like this hit by this lightning bolt, and a very clear message, you know, you have to take this forward now. So I got on the voice note to Jess. I was like, we have to take action now, and told her what had happened. And so we did. We made the decision to start now. We made the decision not to hold off until October, you know, where it wasn't even a certainty that we were going to be able to take that action, and we took action there and then. And so it really unfolded, and what we came to understand through both of our joint journeys, and you know what had formed with our conversation for what we wanted to create. We wanted to create a community, and we really were inspired by our story. So I'll share with you our mission, and our mission is to create a conscious and united global community who strive for excellence to live an elevated and empowered life, a legacy which we will gift to future generations. And so, you know, some of what we've spoken about in our own journeys is very in line with this, but we've seen it as bigger. You know, we're taking this forward, yes, but this is a community, this is a movement that is going to carry on far beyond, you know, when me and Jess are around. And from the word go, that's been very, very obvious. So everything we've done has been with a real focus of legacy, and as we go through the conversation, we can dive into that a little bit more. But what I'll do as well is I'll just share with you our values, and that'll give you a bit of an understanding of us as a community, as a movement, and what we're all about. So we've really got 6 core values that we live by. Now, we have 3 principles, just before I go into the values, that define everything that we create, everything that we're doing. And we can go into the specifics through the conversation, but everything we're doing comes back to connect, elevate, empower. So connect, elevate, empower is at the heart of all of what we're doing, all of what we're taking forward, and all of what we're creating. And our values are creating impact through raising consciousness. Our second value is uniting global and local communities. Our third is striving for excellence always. We've got connecting with self and others, elevation and expansion in all areas of life, and creating a legacy. So it was a very natural process, and it's been such an interesting journey for myself and Jess, because we've obviously got business experience. And it's been so interesting to see this come to form, because there has just been this real element of flow. And even in the start, you know, for me, my own personal business journey, like I took a while to really get my core mission statement, and this just came to us, you know, very, very quickly it came to us. So from our sort of background of business and entrepreneurship, this has been such an exciting journey for us.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I want you to just like say everything about everything right now. I'm like, yeah, what's next? So let's talk a little bit more. Let's go into the nitty gritty a bit more about everything to do with Consciousness Collective. So obviously connecting like-minded individuals is a huge thing, which I have been fortunate enough to be a part of. And I just want to say thank you to both of you, because you know, your networking events, which you can speak about in a second, but your networking events have been going for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
This is week 4. Yeah, this is week 4.
And the amount of people that I personally have met through this, and like, you know, doing business with, and opportunities arising, and literally that's just me. So if you think of all the other people that are already involved, you are already massively delivering with everything. So I think that's incredible, like given how early on your business actually is, like you were saying, Rach, it's just flowing and everything is just happening, which is incredible. So do you want to talk a bit more about the networking events and everything that you're doing?
Yeah, so we've got two different streams or we have two different ways that we connect people at the moment. So obviously we had to look at our business model, which was initially events, and we had to pivot into what we could do right now to get things moving and to create opportunities for connection for like-minded ladies. So the two streams that we've got are the networking events, which are free events, and we hold those on Wednesday mornings and Thursday evenings. And they, like you know, Nat, you've been in them, but the energy within the virtual room is just so uplifting, so loving, and so supportive. And the feedback that we've had from everyone is just that. How do we create that environment virtually? I think that is by bringing the right people in, and then the energy is just contagious. It's infectious, and people are in that high vibrational area of energy, and the connections then are so much more powerful because people genuinely want to support each other from that right place as well. So the networking events are fantastic. They're growing and they're building, and the connections that are being formed are incredible. Like, I know you've hooked up with Meredith in America. We have Louise who's come onto the calls and announced to the world before she even told her family that she is aiming to have a book launched by the end of the year. She connected with someone, Pauline, on the call, and Pauline threw a publisher in her direction, and they've got a release date for December. Like, this is just incredible. I get goosebumps talking about it. But these are just two examples, but we could probably give you 15 examples of the connections that have been made already. And so that is so important to us, that we can provide that platform, and you know, it costs nothing, it's free to everybody. What I'm also really passionate about for the networking events is that people who are new in business come into these meetings as well, and they talk about what they want to do, where they want to go, and they soak up the support from the more experienced entrepreneurs in that room. And you know, with that loving energy and that high vibration, it'll boost their confidence, and just like Louise with the book, it will accelerate and amplify their business right from the get-go.
Yeah, well, there's someone who's been on in one of your events, Steph, who's just coming up with all her new ideas, and I've had quite a few conversations with her. She's actually doing my PT stuff as well, which has come through you guys, so another connection. But yeah, it's been really nice to talk to her, and I know how much she's appreciated having other entrepreneurs and people who with more experience who she can talk to about it, which is amazing.
That's it.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, she's a great example, like what Jess is saying. You know, she didn't have a physical business, and she's just at the starting stages, but she's used the platform to deliver her vision. She'd shared the platform through conversation that me and her had on the Tuesday, and then by the Wednesday she was on the networking event sharing her vision and getting out there, and was obviously met with a lot of support and confidence, building like conversations. She was also met with opportunities that were opening up for potentially helping her get her idea out there. So I think that's such a good testimonial for, you know, it's about people with the ideas as well, and offering a space and platform, and you know, that supportive community to take their ideas and vision forward. Yeah.
Totally. And I just want to touch as well on the energy that you mentioned. Jess, you were saying, you know, when we do the networking events, you can feel the energy. Like, I remember saying to Rachel after the first one, I actually could feel the energy. Like, I was literally like, my body was like vibrating. I was like, what is going on? Like, this, it was insane. Like, you could just feel it. And I know, like, where we are, obviously us three are very much into we can feel the energy and stuff like that. People might be watching what the hell she's talking about. You can feel the energy. But we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we had Mary on now. Mary was an older lady, a very experienced networker. She's done lots of in-person events and online events as well. And she came to us through LinkedIn. We had no prior connection. And she actually said that this was the most loving, supportive, warm environment in terms of a networking event that she had ever experienced.
Wow.
And how we do that, like Rachel said, it is purely because our mission is so far beyond us. Like, we are connectors, and you know, our mission truly comes from the heart, and it's purely to elevate the world and leave behind a better world where we know that people are going to continue to strive for excellence and encourage the younger generations and everyone around them to do the same. And I think the fact that it is, you know, we have completely stepped into our truth with our vision and have such unwavering belief about what it is that we're trying to achieve, that there's no gimmicks. You know, there's nothing fancy in those meetings. There's no music. There's nothing. It is just that genuine desire to fulfill our mission.
Yeah, totally. And you're obviously attracting the right kind of people. That's just what you guys are doing. So amazing.
Absolutely. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening already, and that was the clear intention that we set. You know, that we were going to do that and going to offer that space, and it's been so exciting to see that come to fruition already. So yeah.
Amazing. So do you want to talk a little bit about the memberships as well that you've got, which are very exciting?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've obviously, as Jess mentioned, we're doing our twice weekly networking. So that is available for you, and you know, everybody's welcome there. We've also we just started running our first webinar, so we're going to be doing webinars going forward. And then we're so excited because our membership is open. So our members group, our Conscious Collective members group, kicks off from the 1st of July. So right now we are in the process of going through applicants. We're taking applications, and we're genuinely so excited about this. Why we're excited about it is because we're, like you said, Nat, you know, people that are involved in this community are already seeing the results. Now, this has gone above and beyond what we even expected. Like, we knew it was going to be good. We had confidence this is going to be good, but it's really gone above and beyond. And it's just taken off, you know, so well. So the members group, we're taking applications now. What you're going to be having access to is coaching from myself and Jess. So we're going to have self-mastery sessions twice per month. We've also got incredible guest speakers coming in every month. Now, these people that have confirmed with us, we've actually just had 2 others confirm through meetings that we've had over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, these people are people that myself and Jess have genuinely looked up to for our own personal growth. We feel that they've been a big part of our journey, and so we're so excited to bring them into the community and, you know, deliver the content. What's also exciting me about the guest speakers is that they have really vibed and felt and gone off the calls actually feeling excited and elevated themselves from our vision. Like, these are people that, like, we've looked up to, and like, they are getting excited about what we are doing. So this is like, this is such an amazing thing to have happened for both me and Jess, and obviously most importantly the community members. We've got that energy coming in from the word go. And then we're also going to be doing our empowerment calls, which are happening once a month, and this is for the community as a whole to come together once per month. So it's kind of like an exclusive networking opportunity. However, it's based around the empowerment and elevation of each member within that group. So yes, there's opportunity for connecting, you know, on a daily basis, but we wanted to offer a platform once a month where members have the opportunity to really, you know, share their learnings and learn from each other, build closer relationships, and of course have that elevation and empowerment solidified within their life. life. So that's all included. There's going to be some amazing resources and additional resources throughout the month, which will be in the form of workbooks and lots of amazing things that we've got lined up. We've got a few surprises as well, which we've taken massive action on. So we're so excited for what that's going to be like for all our existing members and new members coming in.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear all about the speakers. I know who one of the speakers is. I've got a sneak peek, but oh my God, I can't wait to hear who the others are.
It's so exciting. And we've got some other really exciting features as well. So we're doing a couple of options for our members this month, and it's just to say, you know, we are only opening up at certain points in the year. So we are open right now for application, but that is only for the next, what will be like 9 days. 9 days.
Oh, we haven't got them, guys.
Yeah.
Get in there now. Honestly, though, I'm sure you've got everyone that comes on your networking events. That must be just the first step for them, and then everyone's going to be like, oh my God, get me in.
It is, and actually the community is the next step. So if you're feeling you know connected in that environment, you want more of it, and you want to elevate and amplify your business like never before, then this is the next step, joining the community. So yeah, we're so excited about it.
Oh, amazing. Let's just talk briefly. So let's just more generic business talk now. So we'll come back to the Consciousness Collective. But lots of people that are going to be watching this will be, you know, people who are maybe just starting their own business, or have, you know, been thinking about starting their own business, but maybe haven't quite taken that leap. So I'd love to talk to both of you individually. You can give me some answers on this. You know, what have your challenges been in terms of being an entrepreneur? What would you say the main challenges are that people should be aware of? Because I think often we don't talk about those things, and we need to. So Jess, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I would say that a major challenge is not having a clear enough vision. So number one, it is so important to have a vision of not just where you want to go this year, not even where you want to go next year, but a 3 to 5 year vision and beyond. And then on top of that, what I would say is, remember to stick to your long-term goals. So in business, things get thrown at you left, right, and center, whether that's challenges or opportunities. There's always something coming knocking at the door. And it's very, very easy to get excited by those challenges or opportunities and thrown off by the challenges. And we forget sometimes our long-term goals and just think about the immediate or the short term. And that's when things start to get difficult in business. And so it's about always focusing on the long-term goals. Don't let the short-term opportunities and challenges or gains get in the way of your long-term goals. Just always be laser focused on where you want to go.
Yeah, totally. Clarity is so key, is it? And I think you don't even realize you haven't got clarity sometimes until someone asks you a question, and then you go, oh, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. And you're like, okay, that's the problem. I need to figure that out.
I think as well, if you haven't been in business before, you're so excited. You've got all these emotions, and an opportunity presents itself, and you're like that, oh my God, this is great. Somebody wants to get involved in this. And you're so attracted to that energy that you sometimes forget what your plan was. And it's so easy to step away from that. But when you do step away from your vision, your mission, and into somebody else's, then you lose that passion that you started with. And so that's where things can get a little bit muddy sometimes. So it's just being really, really clear on your long-term goals and never losing that focus.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Jess. I totally. Oh, I just pulled my earring out. Totally agree. They're literally at the size of my face.
I love it.
Thank you, Jess. Rachel, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'd say just to sort of, with the clarity, you know, everything, I think when people are faced with challenge, I mean, the number one tip I have for anybody, you know, whether it's personal as well, but just on the topic of business, you know, clarity is key. And I just wanted to sort of build, I guess, on what Jess has shared, is in terms of your mission, because you want to be so connected to your mission. And I think this is something that we've both learned more than ever through this process. When you are, I mean, we're both mission driven anyway, you know, on what we're here to do while we're here. But again, it's been amplified through the Consciousness Collective. And I think that's just been such a reminder to me, you know, it's life, it's business. We will always be faced with challenges. It's how we grow. And you know what, when we can start to celebrate them challenges, we'll see life from a whole different perspective. But I just wanted to touch on the mission part, and why that is aligned with that is because when you have something you are so connected to, it does not matter what comes at you. It's you take the lesson, you adjust the course, and you keep taking them steps forward. And I think that's where, you know, we all hear about people giving up on their dreams, and I believe that they didn't take time to get clarity, and I believe they didn't take time to actually connect to something bigger than outside of them. Yeah. So I would say to you, you know, if you're ever finding yourself in a sticky position or not really sure, just take some time out to really, really connect that clarity, like Jess has shared, and your mission. You know, what is it you're here to do? What is it you're here to do? And you have to go past the surface level stuff and really connect to what's in your core, like really in your core. Because I can tell you from this project, when you're connected to something that is your reason for being here, life will flow in a very different way. The second point I just want to touch on, which I think is really something that we all have to go through, is that some people are not going to like what you do. Some people are not going to like it, and that's okay, because you're not going to appeal to everybody. And I think, you know, sadly, people that I speak to, and, you know, we're all aware of this, it's something that holds individuals back. Myself and Jess, we share this a lot. You know, a lot of the number one, through research, the number one thing that people regret at the end of their life is that they didn't do the things that they wanted to do. And the reason is because they were scared of what others would say. And that's been proven, you know, it's crazy. And that's driven me for so many years, that statement. But people are gonna have comments. Your loved ones are not gonna support you. And it's okay, because this is your life, and this is your mission, and this is your vision. And you have to just learn to be okay with that. Of course, you can listen and respect that it's others' opinions. But you know what? Now, where I'm at, when I see people acting in an odd manner, it's actually a good sign for me, because I know I'm rustling feathers, and I should be rustling feathers. If I'm dreaming big enough, I should be rustling feathers. So I actually, although it challenges me, of course, you know, I'm human, it's something I celebrate now, because I know I'm taking steps and thinking bigger.
Yeah, totally. And it's so true. And that's something which I used to be exactly the same. I'd say it's only been in the last maybe year. You know, I've run my own business for 5.5 years now. And only within the last year have I really gotten over what other people think. Like, it's taken me time to get to that point. And I used to say, oh, I don't care what they think. I don't care what they think. But I actually deep down really did care what they thought, and it would stop me doing things. And I would say certain things to different people and not say things and not do things because you're worried what other people are going to think. But you need to remember, you're living your life for you, not for anybody else. And everyone's different. Like, you're not going to have the same dream as your neighbor. Like, it's not going to happen. You all have different thoughts. You all have different visions. You all have different goals, and you have to just run with it. And
can I just add in there, Nat, for any of your like yummy mummies or single mums or parents out there, so one of the things that really held me back with business was that I have children. So I have 2 children, and I used to believe that because I had children, that I had to put them first, and I had to put my dreams and desires on the back burner. I had to wait until they were grown up for me to go out and achieve everything that I wanted to achieve. And that obviously led to feelings of frustration and feeling trapped and all of these different things. And nowadays, I couldn't care less what people think. So I changed my limiting belief to an empowering belief. So everything that I do is teaching my kids that they can have it all, that there's no limits in life, that you should go after your dreams. And that's really, really important for me as a parent, to teach them those things. However, my daughter, she is 11, she's 12 next month, and she is mortified by what I do. She's like that, why do I have to say gratitude again? Why are you on that call? Why are you talking about this and that and all these different things? And she has blocked all of her friends from finding me on social media.
No, she hasn't.
But the point is, and this is another thing that really drives me, is that, you know, my own child in my own house has these belief systems around what I'm doing, and they're not the most encouraging or supportive ones, but I need to continue and build my business and make the impact on the world that Rachel and I are headed towards, to teach her again that she can do the same, that she can forget other people's thoughts and ideas, and whatever she puts her mind to, she can achieve. And us going through that process and challenging other people's beliefs and perceptions is a huge way for us to drive the rest of the world into believing that they can do the same thing.
Yeah, totally. And I think the fact that it's your daughter, that just emphasizes it always is the people that you're most loving with, and the people that you're closest to.
That's it.
It's always them. And I think a lot of the time, the majority of the time, it does come from a place of love, because they don't understand. They don't understand. If they understood why you were doing it, it would be a totally different story, but they just don't understand. So that's fine. But I think it's so important to emphasize that the majority of the time, these kind of setbacks and, you know, challenges always come from the people that you love the most. Always. So people need, like, that is my tip. If anyone's watching, what's my tip? Like, just don't worry about that. It's gonna happen. Expect that to happen, because it's gonna happen, and just, you need to just move on from it, and just, it's fine, get over it. It's fine. Love that. Okay, cool. So my next question, what would you say, I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit because I haven't prepared you for this question. If there has been one pivotal moment in your career, let's not talk Consciousness Collective right now, because I know that probably is the answer. But before the Consciousness Collective came in, if there had been one pivotal moment which you just thought, wow, like it changed everything for you, when was that moment? Have you had like a light bulb moment or something pivotal which has happened during your years of being an entrepreneur? What is that moment?
Yeah, so it's going to be the breakthrough moment. I think I wondered if I spoke about this last time. Maybe I did speak about that last time.
Not sure.
I'll give you probably my own personal journey was my breakthrough moment. You know, when I just really realized life was changing. I'm sure I spoke this last time, so I'm just going to touch on it briefly. But I just really realized that life was changing, and, you know, the external environment was the same, but a whole world had shifted in me. And I did have a very colourful life at that point, and, you know, I wasn't in a great place. So in my personal journey, you know, that was my big shift point that really led me down the entrepreneurial ship path. And then I'd say in my more recent times, do you know what? I was just thinking there, like, I actually think it was the conference that was the 10X conference with Elena and Grant Cardone in Glasgow, where I was first introduced to Matt, who connected us. And it's so interesting to be speaking about this, because there was just, and I couldn't explain it, I just knew there was something that had changed, because I'd been in business then for 2 years. I would have been 2 years in business. And so I just knew that absolutely something had shifted, like something had shifted. And I couldn't explain it, but then obviously it's unraveled, and I can see now what it was. It's a really interesting question, that, but I think it was that. And, you know, if I was to sort of, so that you're with me and you understand what that change was, it was the people I was with. It was the people I was with, and that's such a good point as well, you know, for anybody especially new to business. Like, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who's influencing you? And so that was a real pivotal point for me. And I think it was probably a mixture of the energy, just like going back to for anybody that's new to speaking about energy, it was the energy, it was the heightened vibration that I experienced at that conference. It was the influence that I was having from people that were around me. It was the people I was listening to on stage, and the connections that I made there. I was networking like never before and making some incredible connections, which obviously have led into something so special. So I think it was a mixture for that, and I hope you guys all take something from that who we're surrounding ourselves with, and the vibration that they're in, the energy that they're giving off, and how they make you feel. They should be making you feel elevated and like you want to grow with them. If you're feeling like that, it's a really good indication that they're people you want to spend more time with.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that, Rachel. How about you, Jess?
Yeah, I would say that like my pivotal moment, so I've touched upon this already, but I would say it came from number one, hitting rock bottom. So I went through a really difficult separation and became a single mum kind of out of the blue. I'd also just recently lost my own mum, and so I was really at that rock bottom stage. And I really took a leap of faith into the unknown, and that was attending the Tony Robbins event, that was finding the cash flow to do so, and really stepping into the unknown. I'd never been to something like this before. And like Rachel said, when you connect with like-minded people in an environment that is full of energy. I mean, if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, everything is done purposefully to create the most intense emotions. So you go from pain to pleasure to crazy music to him swearing and cussing on the stage and all of those things. But you are encouraged the whole time to connect with other people through massaging each other's shoulders, through shouting and screaming and crying and cuddling. And again, I'm getting goosebumps when I talk about these things, but it was hitting rock bottom, having a leap of faith, connecting with incredible people, then really starting to work on myself and exploring what was holding me back and getting clear on where I wanted to go, and then continuing to connect with people who were on a similar mission, who would drive me and who I would be accountable to moving forward. And I think just to finish this answer, like Rachel said previously, I had been surrounding myself with people who loved and adored me, and I loved and adored them, but they were living average lives with average beliefs and were content with that. And so was I, until I met all of these other people who were committed to an elevated life. And that is when my life truly transformed.
Yeah, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and that is honestly the truth.
100%.
And if you look back at your life and you look at what you were doing in different parts of your life and how you were feeling and what you were achieving and everything, it all works out that those people that you spent the most time with were doing exactly the same thing.
That's it. And a huge tip actually that I have been taught over the last year by a guy called Alex Spinozo in America. So Alex taught me that it is the most privileged position to be the dumbest person in the room. If you are the dumbest person in the room, you can only learn from all of those people there. And if you soak up the knowledge, then you are going to leave that room in a completely different place.
Yeah, it's so true. I've heard something similar, not in that exact way, but I've heard something similar, and I totally agree. And I think that's so important to mention that, because I think often people might think, if they're in a room with people and they don't know what's going on and what's being said, and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? Actually, that's a positive thing, because you can learn from that, rather than being in a room where lots of different things and other people are on a different level. That's it. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I love that. Two more questions. One more question I'm going to go to next is, what would be your top 3 books that you would recommend? They can be business related, personal development related, whatever, but if you had to have 3, what would they be? Rach, let's go for you.
This is a really hard question for me, and you know that.
I know.
I'm literally a bookworm. I'm obsessed with them. What am I going to say? Right. Neville, as an author, I am loving Neville right now. He's one of the originals, and there's a book called The Power of Awareness, and it is such an incredible book. I've just finished reading it, and I'm going to start reading it again. So I want to recommend that one. Think and Grow Rich, of course. It's just non-negotiable. You know, if there was one that I could only read forevermore, it would be Think and Grow Rich. Oh goodness, Nat. Third one. This is literally so, I'm not even joking, this is literally so hard for me.
What's the first thing that's coming to your head next?
I actually think there's actually one that I've just listened to recently that I'm gonna recommend, because I got it as an audio and a book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually don't.
Stop trying to delay the answer. Just what's the name?
Right, I'm gonna go for Feeling is the Secret. Because it's one that I've been reading over and over again. I was gonna show you the front of it if I've got it here. So that would probably be my other one. Or can I just put in this one, You Squared?
Okay,
You
fine.
Squared by Price Pritchard. Okay, I'm going to throw that one in. I'm going to stop now because I will just keep going.
Great, so we'll do a whole other episode of your book recommendations. We'll give you half an hour.
Rachel's book club, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Rach. How about you, Jess?
Again, like Rachel, there's so many fantastic books out there, and obviously, you know, what you love might be totally different to what someone else loves. I'm going to go with 3, all for completely different reasons. Number 1 is Napoleon Hill. Like Rachel said, Think and Grow Rich. It is the Bible. Like, there's no getting away from that. If you are going into the entrepreneurial world, or even if you're not, you should read that book. It's a classic. Another one, if you're entry level into self-development, manifestation, all of these things, I would say go and read The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. It's a really easy one to tap into, and one that will inspire you to get started on this incredible journey. And then another one that I really enjoyed, and both men and women alike would enjoy it, is actually a biography, and it's the David Goggins You Can't Hurt Me biography. And he was a Marine who had a really difficult upbringing, and he tells the story beautifully. You know, so I was an English teacher by trade and love literature, and it not only has the messages for life and business and resilience and never giving up, but it is written in a way that touches your soul. So I cannot recommend that enough for something that is in between, you know, a personal development book, but also something that is just an escapism as well.
Amazing, thank you. I think there are so many books, so many. Like if you asked me that question, I'd be like, I don't know. There's so many, but thank you. I've not read all of those, but I've read most of them. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, one more question. If you had a quote that you wanted to not necessarily live by, but if there was one quote which it sticks with you and it kind of represents you and what you believe and what you're all about, what would that quote be?
Okay, so let me get in before Rachel in case she wants to say the same thing.
Go for it.
So a quote that's really resonated with us as the Consciousness Collective and me personally at this moment in time as well is, know that wherever you are right now is both temporary and exactly where you're meant to be.
Love that quote. Amazing.
I love that so much. Okay, I'm gonna go for there's 2, but I've got one handy, one I don't. I was actually going to share a Napoleon Hill one, which I'll maybe share with you after that because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But I love, it's actually out of Think and Grow Rich, and I always come back to it and remind myself of it. But it's faith is the accumulation of all riches. faith is the basis of all miracles. And I just think it's so beautiful. It's really, really helped me through a lot. And it's one that I always find myself coming back to. And in terms of quotes, like Napoleon Hill, again, he's just got some incredible quotes. That's one of his, obviously, but he's just got some amazing quotes that I think you can learn so much just from one statement from. So yeah.
Amazing. I love those. Thank you so much, guys. Before we finish up, is there anything else that you guys want to say about the Consciousness Collective? Any messages you want to get out there? Anything going on that we haven't spoken about already?
Jess, do you want to go first?
I just again like to say that it is open, and if you are somebody who is ready to take the next step in life and wants to be surrounded by a community who are full of love, knowledge, support, and the most incredible energy, then as Rachel said, the community applications are open for 9 more days, and we would love you to apply. I've absolutely loved this interview, Nat. It's been so good and so different to some other ones that I've done. So thank you so much for having us as well. And I'll pass to Rachel.
Yeah, just to say thank you again, Nat. Like I love what you're creating here. It's fun. It's so informative. I get excited. You know, this is the second one I've been involved in, and I'm coming away feeling really excited. So I'm really excited for what you're creating here. So thank you so much for having us. And yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're listening to this and what we've said resonated with you, I just would really encourage you to jump in and go all in with us. You know, we're at the start of something so special. We've got an abundance of ideas and opportunities opening up already, which actually over the next 4 weeks are about to take a big leap again. So you absolutely want to get in now. The time is now, and that's one thing I've learned along my journey. You know, if you're feeling inspired and uplifted in your gut, if you've got that feeling in you, like, yes, I am feeling this energy, I'm feeling this vibe, take action, go with it. And so, you know, we're here 100% behind you and really excited to connect with you all.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I've said one more thing like 12 times. One more thing. Where can we find you online? What's your website, your socials? Where can we find you?
Yep, so Instagram is Connect CC Global. You can also connect with us at email, which is connect@theconsciousnesscollective.global. So yeah, I would go for one of them too. Email us or go to our Instagram and connect with us there. We can send you information over if you're keen to find out more details as well, and here for conversation if you're wanting a few bit more clarity on what it is we're doing.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I will post those links underneath here as well so people can find you easily. But thank you so much, guys. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you as always, and I can't wait. I will see you both. What day is it today? Monday. I'll see you guys for networking on Wednesday.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching, if you have any questions about anything, drop them in the comments below, or as Rachel and Jess have said, connect with them online. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back very soon. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.